Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah.
A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN. So for today's episode, I'd like to make a lot of new content here. And it's simply because, if you haven't talked about my previous episode in which I made a little talk about detours, then well, let me bring it up again for you. HGN will be coming to an end on June 19th, 2021. So, of course, in the time frame that I got from here up until that point, I've got around 390 days in total. That's well over a whole year. But of course, aside from all of that pretty much happens to be taking place at this point, I would very much like to imply right now that there's going to be a lot of new content here. And I've got lots of subjects that'll be covered on before anything is considered over and done with. And I'd like to talk about cardio for this episode. It is a process of which that you can engage in a lot of strenuous activity over a certain period of time. Usually it's uncertain or unspecified, but for the most part people will in fact put some type of time between the time that it starts and the time that it finishes, depending on what they're engaging in. Of course, cardio mainly focuses on the aerobic style of exercise, which can usually coordinate all certain muscular joints and parts of the body that will in fact encompass certain parts of energy that the body will have. But for most people out there, cardio isn't really their best thing out there. And I will admit, my part in terms of cardio, I couldn't even last for more than 2 miles on a single run or a single jog. For the most part, whenever I've sprinted, I've rarely gotten to about 3 miles on a single run. And the main reason for that is, well, I've got a bad spleen for the most part. And this spleen that I got, and it's the only one that I got at the moment, happens to really give off a lot of pain. Every time I happen to enter into a certain phase in my cardio, it just triggers some sort of painful reaction. I've got no idea how it works, or I might not even understand exactly how it goes down all the way, but the point is that I just can't really seem to do cardio no matter what I do. No matter what I do to try and get my spleen to calm itself down or whatever, I just cannot seem to do cardio on a daily basis even. Even though we're doing all that we can to keep ourselves active and the like these days, as opposed to how we were 20 years ago, the obesity epidemic was one thing, but today's epidemic, I'll talk more about that later, but I guess the point here is that cardio itself, depending on who you are as a person or what your stamina level is or how much calories you consume, I would very much like to consider whatever options might lie within. Of course, if anyone out there would have some sort of advice, then please be sure to follow up in the comment section below, or even send me a tweet or direct message. I'm pretty much open in any single way when it comes to giving certain advice to others out there. But until then, I've got more HGN content coming your way very soon. And if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.